we have a Show Me History Benjamin Franklin graphic novel. Now, we got this from Sam's Club, actually, and we have already been through some of it, and she absolutely loved it. We also have a Show Me History graphic novel from about Susan B. Anthony, and it is also quite adorable. Next, we have some Imagination Station books. Now, we have not actually been through these yet, but we've got number 13, 14, and 15. So we've got The Redcoats Are Coming, Surprise at Yorktown, and Captured on the High Seas. We are also very big into the Who Was books. We go through about one every 2 days. So there's a significantly larger stack of these, but these are the ones we've got pulled so far. Who Was Thomas Jefferson? Declaration of Independence, George Washington. Oh, we have 2 Declarations of Independence. I probably need to give one of these away. This is States by Time for Learning. This we got on eBay used. Do love to go pick up used books. Now, we don't have all of these, but these are state shapes, and this one is Massachusetts. And you can see the book's actually shaped like the state, and then there is quite a lot of information in here. Let's see, this book is about 45 pages. So really goes pretty in-depth into the states. And we have these for several of the states. I'm just going to pull a couple of them out here for you to see. Next, we have our What's in the Region books. So this is What's in the Midwest, West, Southeast, Southwest, and Northeast. So let me just kind of give you a quick little flip through of what's kind of inside these books. The print's nice and large. It tells about lots of different areas that you might be interested in. Just a good geography reference book. Next, we have this inexpensive little board book, but what I liked about it was you have little flaps to lift and learn different things about the different states. This is the Slightly Odd United States of America, Wacky Facts About Our Great Country. And this is just like really well designed, very attractive book. Goes through each of the states. And it just looks very, very fun. So we will try to pull this one out very often. This is America the Beautiful, a patriotic coloring book. And what we like to do with coloring books, especially if they have good information, and this does have some nice information down at the bottom, is we like to photocopy them so that she doesn't have to color directly in the book, and then we can use it for the next kid. Next, we have Woodrow the White House Mouse and House Mouse and Senate Mouse. And these are both actually autographed copies. We got them used, but that was kind of a cool little thing to run into. So I think I had these when I was growing up as well, but I don't have those copies anymore, so we got new ones. But really just charming illustrations and goes through quite a bit of information while giving a charming little story. So this one is Greetings from the 50 States, How They Got Their Names. It's a scholastic book, and you can see the illustrations are quite beautiful. And it just goes through each state. So I really liked this one. This one I had been eyeing online for quite a while, and I finally broke down and got it. The 50 States Activity Book. If you saw my other video on my CC binder, you'll see that I took out one of their posters and stuck it in the front pocket of the binder. I really love the illustrations in this. Just really beautiful. I don't know how much we'll actually use it. It's quite nice to look at, but I think it's a little bit more advanced than she's at, and it's honestly a little too pretty to write in and actually work in. So I don't know if we'll end up using this too much this year. This is Don't Know Much About the 50 States, another Scholastic book. And our stuff gets really repetitive. We have about, 25 different ways to go read short synopsis on different states, but hey, that's okay. We can pull them out multiple times. We can try to get her the information in lots of different directions, and maybe if she hits it several times in different ways, it will stick. Another state's guide. So this is the United States of America, a state-by-state guide by Scholastic. But this one has more like landforms. See, even though we're getting the same kind of information over and over again, all of the illustrations are different, and it just is gonna reach her in different ways. So it's all good. It's all worth having around to flip through. This one is really gorgeous. This is My America, a Poetry Atlas of the United States. This is one I will not be using. My husband will probably use this. I am not a poetry person, but sometimes kids like poems, so might as well have some on hand. I know a lot of homeschoolers use poetry as part of their morning time and use it for memorization. We do classical conversations, so I don't feel that we need more memorization in our homeschool, but hey, if it works for you, this is a very pretty book. Love the illustrations. So there you go. 50 U.S. states and territories. This one is an actual workbook style. So I may or may not end up pulling out sheets from this and adding it into our classical conversations binder, and just have her do one of these for each state that we study in CC. That's really mostly just reading comprehension. So, you read the one page and then the child answers questions based on what they've just heard. I would assume that this is actually meant for a child who'd be able to read this on their own. My daughter is so far away from being able to read this on her own that it's not even worth trying. But I could read this to her and then read her the questions and have her orally go through them with me. So we'll probably put this in with our morning time memory work. Next, this is National Geographic's Ultimate U.S. Road Trip Atlas, maps, games, activities, and more for hours of backseat fun. So if the world opens back up and we get into some car schooling, I think this would be a really fun way to give her something fun to look at while we're in the car, or we'll hold on to it and ask her questions and things. We're probably not going to all 50 states anytime soon. We did do a map of putting little X's on the map of the US and, where has mom been to, where has dad been to, where has our daughter been to, that sort of thing. But, hey, this looks fun and bright and shiny and is a different visual look than a lot of the stuff we get. So always good to mix it up. This is a Doyer coloring book. I love these coloring books. Because they're really nice illustrations and then they have really good text about what you're looking at. So once again, we don't let her color directly in these books. We photocopy them and then let her color the photocopied page so that we have it for the next kid, and so we preserve the integrity of the book. So there you go. Very, very pretty. So this is another United States coloring book. It actually doesn't look all that nice on the cover. The cover looks kind of basic, but then you get into it and it's actually quite nice. So I will likely have her do some of these pages for morning time when we go over individual states, just so that she gets, you know, a better understanding of what's going on in each state. This one is just a very basic little workbook, and I've actually kind of already gone through it. It's okay. Something they could definitely, a small child could actually do it on their own pretty well as independent work. This one is from a graphic library series that I really, really like. We've got several of these. This is George Washington Leading a New Nation, and give you kind of a sense of the illustrations. And then these are just from the dollar store, proof that you do not need to spend a ton of money to get material for your kids. If we wanted to be pretty basic about it, this is really all the information that a young kid needs. So this is a little 50 great states. It's got a little app you can download. I have no idea if that works or not. I've seen some of these dollar store books with apps, and the apps kind of crash really immediately, but hey, you paid $1 for the whole thing. So it gives you basic information about each state, shows you where it is on the greater part of the map, and just kind of walks you through it. And that's really all you need. And then we've actually got two of these because they came from two different places and I didn't realize that they were the exact same thing. So I got like one from Dollar Tree and one from Target, but I'll try to do this so you can actually see what I'm flipping through. It just gives you each of the presidents and just, a sentence or two about them. And a little quiz at the back. Quizzes are good. So this one, proof that I'm silly, is the exact same thing. So I'll probably end up giving this one away. On to the games. So I got this little tiny Itsy Bitsy teeny weeny game, and I actually got kind of upset because it did not say that it was going to be a miniature version of it when I got it on Amazon. But I'm okay with it because it has all the exact same information that I look for, and we actually have already used it several times. So I'm trying to find something, okay, that's US. So you pull it out and they've got all the information. You try to memorize everything on the card that you see, and you've got 10 seconds to memorize everything. And then you flip it over and you try to ask yourself these questions and try to see how many of them you can remember from the other side. So you could theoretically play this all by yourself. There's also a dice in here because you're supposed to like roll and see which question you get. We always just ask all the questions because we're trying to learn things. And some of them are, more just, what was the color of something or how many of something were there. So, we do all the questions because, decadence. But I've pulled these out and they actually do have several cards. Even though it's world history, they have several cards that are corresponding to the history sentences. So really great little thing. We use it for morning time. Okay, so dollar store, Target dollar spot, whatever. They've got, little flashcards for the United States and presidents. And they always kind of change them so they're slightly different each year. I'm okay getting multiple versions of the exact same thing because then you can keep one at home, one in the car. But I like these because They have nice presidential portraits on one side, and then the president facts on the other side. And I love flashcards. I think there's a lot of games that we play with flashcards. You should check out my table game video and see how we use flashcards. We do, when we finish pieces of curriculum, we do like reward weeks. And you can see these are the exact same cards. They're just smaller and in a different package, but I'm okay with that. Throw it in a bag. But we do reward weeks where all we do is play with flashcards, and we do, whole tables of flashcards. See, these are different. See, these are flags of the world, and these are United States states. So still, we do use these, even though these aren't technically United States only. But yeah, check out the table game video because that shows how we use flashcards in our homeschool, and we use them a lot. All right, so we love the Professor Noggins games. They have quite a few for the United States. So this is United States history, American Revolution, United States presidents, and the Civil War. So we have all of them. We're gonna go through them. My daughter loves Professor Noggins. I think she got the ancient history card deck like completely memorized. It's almost worthless because she knows all the answers now. But very fun watching the kid learn all the answers to all the cards and getting better and better at it as you go through. If you thought our 4 Professor Noggins games for United States history was a lot and we might be done with Professor Noggins games, you were wrong. So we've also got human body, because in classical conversations this year we are going over the human body as kind of the first section of the science memory work. United States geography. I really like this because a lot of United States geography things are based on the individual states. These are not. These are about the terrain, about national parks, about landmarks. These go into a whole bunch of different categories that are not just what is this state? What is its capital? What is its national? What is its state bird or whatever? No, this goes through some like really cool other information, and I am terrible at this game. So I love when my daughter gets to learn things that I don't know. So this is very cool. And then our neighbors to the north, Canada, thought it would be good to throw in some Canadian history so that she knows some of that stuff. You can actually, on CC Connected, I just found out, you can go in and get the memory work for different countries. So you can get Canadian history memory work. So I might look into that and not try to get her to memorize it, but just expose her to it. So very cool. More flashcards. So these are the flashcards from The Good and the Beautiful. So at the top we have, your basics, the oceans and continents and basic stuff like that. Then it goes hard into Europe. But they also have this giant stack of the United States, and they're just, good and beautiful and uniform and nice. So we like using these, and yeah, they're just nice. Also from The Good and the Beautiful, we have the Bill of Rights Roundup. This says ages 7+. You really have to know the Bill of Rights before you can start playing it too much. I will say that my husband and I actively enjoy playing this game together without my daughter. So it is a very fun game. We like a lot of games that are card-based. We end up not playing the game part and just reading the cards and doing what the cards say. But it's kind of case law. So it gives you a case and you read it out to the other person, and then they have to make an argument, and then you come back and give them the answer. And it's just entertaining. I mean, this is seriously what my nerdy husband and I like to do on a date night, is like go through case law. So very fun game, very entertaining for all ages. highly recommend this. And you do not have to buy the Good and the Beautiful's history curriculum to buy their game. You can buy it separately on their website. So even if you're not using their history, you might add in this game to your homeschool day. Next, we have Deal or Duel. We actually have not started playing this because we found out after we bought it, we started looking through it, and it's fairly complicated. So we haven't really gotten into it yet, but we got this on Zulily. It was on, a deal, so thought that'd be pretty cool, but it's fairly complex. Maybe once we're pretty far into the Founding Fathers, it'll be a good time to pull it out and really get into it, but I mostly got it because it was beautiful. I just really liked the illustration work, so yeah, liked this one.